Welcome to Truth by Billie Beene. Today's date, February 22, 2025. Time in Texas, about 4 p.m. And I'd like to ask, hit the like button. That helps my channel to grow. Well, President Trump and the American people have been stabbed in the back, betrayed by Ukraine, NATO, and the European Union. So let's get to it. We have this coming out this afternoon from Daily Mail that says that Zelensky has surrendered to the U.S., to sign a mineral deal, oil and gas and ports and other infrastructure, valuable items inside Ukraine, which President Trump is asking for, demanding really, as a settlement with Ukraine to reimburse the U.S. for $500 billion that has gone out of the U.S. to Ukraine. Primarily, Ukraine was a laundering vehicle, so President Trump next needs to be auditing members of Congress, their campaign contributions, and so on. But that's going on. So at any rate, the U.S. has been negotiating with Zelensky, the dictator currently of Ukraine, because we know his legal term expired last May and he did away with elections. But there are some serious questions and information coming out now that appears that President Trump and the American people have been betrayed by Zelensky, Ukraine, by Mark Rutte of NATO, and by the European Union. So one of these items has to do with this mineral and oil and gas and ports and other infrastructure value that President Trump has been seeking to get Zelensky to sign over to the U.S. 50%. Well, so Daily Mail says Zelensky surrenders to President Trump. This just came out a few minutes ago. And that Ukraine will sign a deal with the U.S. in several hours. This follows a Thursday meeting with Zelensky by President Trump's envoy to Ukraine, General Keith Kellogg. But what about the secret deal that Zelensky had already signed with Keir Starmer of the UK? And that happened January 16, 2025. What about that secret deal that Zelensky's already signed with the UK, giving the UK all of the value in Ukraine? So Zelensky signed the deal with the UK, a secret, January 16, 2025, giving to the UK all of its rights to minerals, oil and gas, ports, and other infrastructure, gas pipelines, and so on. Whereas the U.S. was asking for 50%. Well, Zelensky, in a secret deal called the Centennial Partnership Agreement, this is coming out from BORZIKKMAN, I'll link this for you. Zelensky signed the secret deal January 16, 2025 with the UK for all of these rare earth minerals, oil and gas in Ukraine. Now today we have a draft for the US dated February 7 asking for 50%. But Zelensky has already signed with the UK on January 16, 2025, all of these assets. So we see Zelensky lie, cheat, and steal. We see Keir Starmer lie, cheat, and steal. We see Mark Rutte lie, cheat, and steal. Now, Mark Rutte is the leader of NATO, who right now, today, is, according to a public statement made by Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov, Mark Rutte of NATO is telling Ukraine not to agree to U.S. demands, but to continue the war. Mark Rutte today visits European capitals to encourage the leader of each NATO nation not to agree to peace with Russia. So we see President Trump and the American people being stabbed in the back, betrayed by Ukraine, by NATO, and by European Union. So that's going on. BORZIKKMAN also reports Russia is moving ahead and will seize Odessa, Kharkiv, and Dnipro. And they will go into these areas that have a large population base and block all ingress and egress roads and highways and trains and so forth. They will embargo these cities and will take them. And also reports Russia has knowledge of the secret deal that Zelensky signed with the UK, giving all of the assets of Ukraine to the UK January 16. So we have quite a mess going on, don't we? And this is what I believe as an American citizen, President Trump and the U.S. should do. We should immediately, once all of this information has been verified, we should pull all U.S. troops from Europe. We should also withdraw from NATO. And we should cut off all money that goes to European nations for any reason. This concludes my flash. It's good to pray for America, the U.S. military, President Trump, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.